Hi, we're Group 12 and we're presenting on collaborative journalism. What is collaborative journalism? Montclair State defines collaborative journalism as the practice of executing journalistic endeavors using the cross-entity approach. This means that the journalism industry would be evolving into a shared project and partnership realm in order to broaden their audience and attain more information. There are two major examples of collaborative journalism projects, one being the Panama Papers Project. This is when multiple journalists and organizations such as the ICIJ received 11.5 million electronic documents about offshore accounts with secret deals, loans, and tax avoidances within former and current world leaders and politicians. With the help of 140 journalists, they worked together to expose the fraud. The second major project was the football leagues in 2016 and 2017. The European investigative collaborations, with the help of other journalists, uncovered questionable financial transactions within European Football League, with also refs, coaches, and players. This is quoted as one of the largest leaks in sports history and led to the prosecution of Cristiano Ronaldo and his coach.
5 emerging trends observed by Stephanie Murray are a rise in the number of collaborative projects, increased participation in collaborations by smaller local news organizations, more people being hired for the role of collaboration manager, more formal ongoing journalism collaborations, and an increase of projects based on shared data and documents. Cost and revenue streams. Grants. One of the most common sources of funding for collaborative projects is philanthropic grants. For example, private donors, national funding organizations, and local or regional community foundations. Full funding grants versus area theme specific grants. Some grants are meant to provide funding for the entirety of the project. Others are catered towards specific facets of the collaborative. These smaller grants can go towards specific services, equipment, and covering operating expenses. An example of a theme-specific grant is Coast Alaska, a fully independent nonprofit that partners 7 radio stations in Southeast Alaska. Montclair State University interviewed this collaborative for an article. Coast Alaska stations applied for and received grants from the Alaska Center for Excellence in Journalism to purchase additional equipment to aid in their coverage of the novel coronavirus. The center is a project of the Alaska Community Foundation and is backed by the Atwood Foundation. These were both region and topic specific grants. Some challenges when dealing with grants. When the grant fund runs out, what will the company do? It's important for organizations to have a sustainability plan in place so that their work doesn't just stop when the fund runs out. It is not easy to find grant opportunities. Some grants you have to be personally invited to apply for. Grant foundations can often be risk averse and less likely to support a starter project or a collaboration project that is not well known. Other revenue streams. There are endless possibilities for various revenue streams as long as they do not compromise the integrity of reporting. For example, Resolve Philly, a collaborative organization, is developing an editing tool that they plan to license to other institutions to generate revenue. For-profit outlets can sell ad space, and nonprofits can seek underwriters. Cost. Most costs are attributed to salaries. Some money can go towards travel, equipment, software updates, or training sessions. Atlantic City's collaboration budget is outlined below.
Contribution to the business model. So not only is the collaboration side tied to journalism, it is also tied to the business side. Although it may be very uncommon, there are ways in which free journalism organizations adhere to a business model in order to maintain themselves and capitalize through this. Collaborative journalism, just like free journalism, is mostly tied to a cooperative business model. There are 2 main strategies related to a cooperative business model. First one being local news organizations engaging with an audience or community and giving them the opportunity to buy stakes in their company. And second one, audiences buying memberships with the extra perk of being able to contribute to the news produced. There are 2 very good examples relating to the cooperative business model. According to Mark Glaser in an article for the Knight Foundation, He states that many local news organizations talk about working more closely with their communities, listening to what they want, engaging over social media, and at in-person events. But some have taken that idea much further, allowing community members to actually buy a stake in the publication. So, as Glazer states, not only is collaboration in the form of journalism, it is in the form of community as well. The endless opportunities that exist in social media now give the community the chance to contribute not only in social media endeavors, but also through the news and journalism site. Two examples found are Bristol Cable, which is established in the United Kingdom, and the Devil's Strip, which is a cooperative local news organization in Canton, Ohio. So Bristol Cable in the UK, they follow the cooperative business model. They've been established since 2014. They have more than 2,000 members, and each member pays $3 to be able to contribute to the news that are produced. So they also have the chance to contribute to all the news that the Bristol Cable produces, and this way they can expand their audience. The Devil's Strip, which is established in Ohio, is based on shareholders, and they get a say in deciding on which investigative stories the Devil's Strip will cover, as well as other business decisions, and they can run for the governing board of the publication. After all, the collaborative business model is what collaborative journalism must follow in order to keep developing as a trend that contributes to a widespread sense of community along with the production of good news.
Audience strategy. Who do you want to target? To identify what communities your work is to involve for collaborative journalism, consider the topic or issue you're exploring. The American Press Institute says the key question to ask, as phrased by Joy Mayer, former director of community outreach at the Columbia Missourian, is who's already talking about what you're covering. It is important your story engages a community that wants to learn more about your topic and is genuinely interested. On the internet, everything and anything can be found, so it is important your story clearly addresses what you want to cover. An example of how to build your audience is making sure you always translate your story when it is based on an international topic. For example, when ProPublica and NPR exposed how the American Red Cross had squandered aid funds after the devastating 2010 earthquake in Haiti, their story became the most read piece in ProPublica's history. Much of the story's spread was social. 40% of its 914,000 page views came from Facebook. Reporters and editors knew, however, that the people most intimately impacted by the story would not read an English language story. To engage them, ProPublica translated the story into Haiti's native French. The French story went on to earn 153,000 page views, with 84% of that traffic coming from Facebook. ProPublica senior engagement editor Amanda Zamora wrote through email, "We hit both mass and niche audiences, and when we're able to get people on both ends of the spectrum to pay attention, that's when we see action." Audience strategy examples for collaborative journalism. Nowadays, people love to feel part of a community. People want to get involved with anything they can. Feedback has become very important in a world of collaborative journalism. Making yourself available for feedback allows community members who are on the fence about participating to reach out to you with any questions or doubts. That gives you a chance to enlist more good contributions. The Guardian is a great example of this. The Guardian invites people to contact them about any part of their projects and has kept its reporting very much open to the public. With the press of a button, anyone can download the data it has collected so far. Releasing the data let people build on it. One follower of the project went so far as to develop an app that alerts users every time a new name is added to the count. Because of this, their audience has expanded into more than just people who want to read news articles. The Skim is a young news operation that relies on its readers' actions to grow. It's an email newsletter, and it secures new readers only when they have signed up to receive the daily email. One way the Skim drew 1.5 million subscribers in 3 years is by making it very easy for readers to invite others in their networks to subscribe. Each daily newsletter asks subscribers to share the Skim and provides a link. When a user clicks on the link, she's taken to a page where users can share invitations to the newsletters with their networks. But rather than leave users to write these invitations themselves, a time-consuming task, the Skim provides suggested texts for tweets, Facebook posts, and email messages that they can compose right on the page. This strategy has made their audience massive, 7 million subscribers, in fact.
Why is collaborative journalism important? According to Sarah Stonebly, the research director at the Center for Cooperative Media at Montclair State University, collaborative journalism is a new cornerstone practice in the field. Collaborative journalism is a way to create a project that would not have been able to occur without collaboration and involves learning, compromise, and communication between all parties involved. One of the main benefits of collaboration is supplementation in larger audiences, even if there's a legacy mindset that some organizations need to overcome in order to collaborate. How to get involved. You can search for a job as a collaboration manager on websites such as LinkedIn, LinkUp, Jobalize, and Pointer. Currently, there's a job opening to be a collaboration manager at News Voices, Colorado. You can also encourage your local news organization to participate and launch collaborative journalism initiatives.